Okay, so good morning. I'm coming to you, Ashlyn and Shuni. Thank you for joining us this morning. Um, so Shuni, you obviously did our 21-day weight loss plan back in. Did you join in September?
Yes.
Okay, so 4 or 5 months ago, yeah. Before you joined it, what was going on for you with regard to weight, diet?
I was sort of semi-happy with my weight, but I was borderline in terms of the NHS healthy weight, uh, overweight. So I was always sort of borderline on that. And I did slow running, which seemed to bring it just below the borderline. So I was in the healthy bracket, but only just.
Okay,
Um, and but ordinarily I'd always been between a size 10 and 12. So I wasn't really worried about my weight at all. Um, but then I don't know, it was just some things in terms of clothes are getting slightly tighter. I wasn't feeling that great in myself. I didn't know whether that was COVID or the COVID stuff and lockdown and things like that. I was running. Um, and something my husband said was, if I hadn't been running, just imagine what weight you would have been.
okay. Thanks,
It was
hubby.
like, oh, thanks. um,
Wow, was that a compliment?
it was meant to be, yeah.
Okay, okay. Hold on a
So
minute.
that's what spurred me on to sign up, because it was more curiosity more than anything else. Because as I said, I wasn't really uh, very worried about my weight in that sense. I mean, I
Okay,
hadn't
so
had scales beforehand.
let me get this straight then, because I've never asked you this question. You're a size 10 to 12, which is the majority of females' dream size, I would imagine. I don't think you would join something just out of curiosity. Like, what did you want to get from it? It couldn't just been out of
Well,
nosiness.
it was out of curiosity because
Okay,
as I mean, my diet was pretty healthy beforehand. Um, what I hadn't appreciated until joining was my portion sizes were much, much bigger. So yes, I'd have a plate full of veg, but there'd probably be a lot more the starchy vegetables like the
yeah,
sweet potatoes, butternut
yeah,
squash, parsnip. But because I was thinking, oh, okay, I'm eating my one of my 5 portions a day,
yeah.
then that's fine. Because I was going on the basis of I had to eat more than 5 portions of fruit and veg a day. I didn't take into account whether there was starchy
Okay,
veg or anything
gotcha.
like that. So it's
Okay,
more of a curiosity
okay,
what I
okay.
could do to improve it.
Did you have any apprehensions about joining the program?
Um, the main apprehension was in terms of family, because I did not want, even in the 21 days, I did not want to be preparing 2 sets of meals in the evening. That was the last thing I wanted to do. It had to fit in with the family in that
Okay,
sense.
and who's in your family?
Breakfast and lunch wasn't a problem, but it was just the evening meal.
Okay, and in your family, have you got 2 children?
Yeah, I've got 2 teenage boys.
Okay, and I don't know why. How did I know that? You must have posted it somewhere, but I knew you had 2 teenage boys. Okay, so apprehensive that you're going to be spending all night in the kitchen. Um, how did it turn out? What was the actual process like? Did the boys eat the food or?
Yeah, so the first week, when we had to do the planning, so the first week, that was really, really hard. Took me hours to try and trawl through the 3 weeks of meals to work out what the boys would eat
Oh,
and try and fit it in with how the high and low days. Um, so that was quite difficult. I mean, the boys are very they've got quite a good food palate, but it isn't very strong in terms of pulses or
okay,
vegetables
yeah,
in typical boys.
Yeah.
So and my husband's a confirmed carnivore in that sense as
Oh,
well.
I think loads of blokes are, aren't they? So,
Yeah,
like initially you found it hard, but obviously you're still in the group because you do a
yeah,
21-day challenge and then you can become a monthly member thereafter.
yeah.
But you're still here 4, maybe 5 months later. So, did the planning get easier?
Yes. So the first, as I said, the very first week took me forever to do, and then subsequent weeks it's just got easier and easier. Um, I mean, now obviously I'm off. I'm not following the 21-day piece, so the evening meals is a bit more flexible, which is fine. I mean, it suits the family and it suits me. It gives me the variety, and I'm on the maintain anyway, so I'm not
Yeah.
looking to lose any further weight.
Good.
So.
I'm glad to hear that. And you know what I think, like literally when we first give people the food plans, I think there is that wow, that overwhelmed feeling. And it's like, God, how am I going to do this? But I always say long term, you will not only lose weight and feel better, but it's going to save so much time and so much money by planning your food in advance. And don't
Yeah.
you reckon by the end of the 21 days, it's almost becoming second nature anyway?
Yes,
And then obviously,
absolutely.
I'd imagine now you can just go to the website, type something in, it makes it even easier to plan, doesn't it?
Yeah, I tend to, I'm a real trawler, so I go through
Oh,
all the
okay.
all the recipes to try and work out what I want to do. Um,
Do you know
I
what? And
am trying to get better on
sometimes,
that front.
yeah, and sometimes I always say this. I think having choice is not a good thing
Yeah,
because for the
it
first
takes longer.
21 days we give you your recipes and there's loads of choice, but you know what I mean. There's a fine line. But then when you go onto the website and you can just be looking for ages, yeah, you probably can spend too much time scrolling through. So Shuni, talk me through. Sorry, Suni, talk me through your wins. The first 21 days, what did you achieve?
So the first 21 days, I think I lost 12 pounds at the end of that.
Brilliant.
But the biggest wins for me, I think, were the intangibles. So I noticed I had so much more energy. I was far more positive. I had a far more positive outlook. I was loved the control of the planning, um, and having the food prepped. That was one of the things. That was a real revelation for me because before I'd like to be a free spirit with my
Yeah.
food, but
Okay.
actually, it was just much nicer having that prepped, done, and then I just don't even have to think about it when I go to eat.
Did you say did you post in the group ages ago saying that you were annoying some people at work or something because you were always so happy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
no, I wasn't annoying them. I
Oh,
was just,
okay.
they were just commenting on the fact I always sounded very bubbly and happy. And they described me as a bubbling brook.
Wow. We can't grumble about that. So you know what? You've got more energy, and isn't it weird? Because I'm really free spirited, but what is it with the control? It is. I don't know. What is that feeling you get with controlling food? I suppose is it because we live in a world that's so crazy with lack of control that it feels good to be controlling something, or
I don't know because I'm not much. Well, I never thought I was much of a controller, but my sons have always said I'm the organizer in the family. I plan everything. Um, so I don't know. It was just it helped me save money. It helped me
yeah,
when I go food shopping because I like going into the supermarket to do the food shop rather than a delivery, and it helped me having that list to know what I was buying, and that helped when I was. They say when you go food shopping, don't go when you're hungry because you'll
oh
just
gosh, yeah, yeah,
overspend.
yeah.
Well, what I found was as long as I had my food list, my shopping list, I stuck to that list regardless of how hungry I was, which
Good.
was a real revelation for me.
Yeah. Brilliant. Okay. So look, you've been with us now. It's 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
Where obviously weight loss, I've seen pictures, and let me just make it clear, you don't look in the slightest bit underweight, because I always think being underweight can be as problematic as being overweight. You look amazing, and I'd imagine lots of females in the group would want to look like you, right? But 4 or 5 months on, what's the total weight loss? But then in addition to that, how are you feeling? Any more wins at all?
Yeah. So so I'm now 127 pounds, which makes me 9 stone 1 pound, something like that.
Wow.
So I've lost in total 25 pounds since I started. Um, I've so that's and I lost, I think I had to write this down, but
Okay.
I've lost 18 inches in total,
Amazing.
mainly from my waist and my boobs.
Oh,
Didn't have much up top anyway,
okay.
but there you go. Waist wise, I always had this little belly after the kids, so I just assumed it was post pregnancy belly. So I was quite surprised to actually lose that. So that was a real bonus. But it's more, I've got loads of energy. I'm happy to just take things on, and I know I can just slot it in. I
Yeah.
don't tend
Yeah.
to panic so much with these things anymore. I don't think about my diet. Don't think about the food. If we go out, I choose whatever I want to eat, knowing full well I'll come back and I'll the next day I'll have maybe a low day just to keep
Yeah.
it balanced. Same with alcohol as well.
Brilliant. Okay. And you know what? To me, it sounds like you're living your life. You're not restricting yourself, but yet you found the sustainability and you've nailed that lifestyle part as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know what? Just lastly, before we go, do you think it complements your running? Because you're one of our slow runners as well. So,
Yeah, definitely. You're not carrying so much excess
oh,
weight.
yeah, yeah,
um, but yes, I think it's definitely helped with my running. Feel a bit more bouncy,
yeah.
if
Oh,
that
yeah.
makes
No,
sense.
I totally get that. Suni, thank you so much. I'm going to stop recording and then I'm going to come and say goodbye to you. Okay, let me just stop
Okay,
recording.
no problem.